Congress leader Digvijaya Singh has created a stir by praising the organisational strength of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, an organisation that the Congress has long opposed ideologically. Sharing a black and white photograph from a social media platform that showed Modi seated on the ground while BJP veteran Rashtriya Advani sat on a chair in the background, Singh acknowledged how the RSS shapes leadership within the organisation. He pointed to the image as an example of how a grassroots worker from the RSS and Jan Sangh rose to become the Prime Minister of the country. The BJP was quick to latch on to the Singh's remark on Twitter to hit out at the Congress party, saying that his praise was in fact open dissent against Rahul Gandhi's leadership.
मुझे लगता है ये कांग्रेस का अंदरूनी मामला है, उसमें कोई बहुत महत्वपूर्ण बात नहीं है। आपने जो सवाल किया इस पे मुझे एक चीज और ध्यान आ गई। राहुल गांधी जी की समझ पे सवाल दिग्विजय सिंह जी ने नहीं उठाया है। बराक ओबामा ने अपनी किताब द प्रॉमिस लैंड में चैप्टर नंबर 24 में लिखा है, एंड आई कोट, राहुल गांधी हैज अ नर्वस अनइन्फॉर्म्ड क्वालिटी अबाउट हिम एज इफ ही वर ए स्टूडेंट who's done the coursework and was eager to impress the teacher but deep down lacked either the aptitude or the passion to master the subject. यानी वो एक ऐसे छात्र की तरह हैं जो अपने टीचर को प्रभावित करने की छटपटाहट में बहुत कुछ भाव भंगिमा तो दिखा रहा है, पर वास्तविक ज्ञान और गंभीरता का उसमें अभाव है। अब यहां पर मैं एक और बात कहना चाहता हूं। भाई साहब, यूएस प्रेसिडेंट किसी के बारे में अगर ओपिनियन बनाता है तो ये यूएस में बहुत डाउन द लाइन आर्काइव्स में जाता है। उसके बाद यूएस में उनको बुलाया जा रहा है बड़ी बड़ी यूनिवर्सिटीज के द्वारा। ये अपने आप में आश्चर्यजनक नहीं लगता आपको? मतलब ये तो अमेरिकन सिस्टम के लिए मैं पूछना चाहता हूं, उनके लिए एक फूड फॉर थॉट है मेरा, एंड आई वांट टू पुट फॉर ए फूड फॉर थॉट फॉर अमेरिकन एस्टैब्लिशमेंट। इफ योर प्रेसिडेंट हैज दिस टाइप ऑफ ओपिनियन अबाउट ए पर्सन, then how he can be allowed and how he was invited for Ivy League universities to give an objective view, and the view can be considered objective. This questions the objectivity and neutrality of the entire foreign visits of Rahul Gandhi.
Digvijaya Singh, however, later backtracked, saying he only talked about the organisation and the strength and not the BJP or the RSS, as he was staunchly against the two.
आपको गलत फहमी है। हाँ। मैंने तारीफ की है संगठन की। मैं RSS और मोदी जी का घोर विरोधी हूँ। मैंने संगठन की तारीफ की है और मैं RSS का और मोदी जी का, उनकी नीतियों का घोर विरोधी था, हूँ और रहूंगा।
आपने भी तो संगठन को लेकर काफी सारे सवाल उठाए। आपने कहा राहुल गांधी को कन्विंस करना बहुत मुश्किल है।
जी एक बात सुनिए, जो मुझे कहना था मैंने CWC की बैठक में कह दिया। ठीक है
सर, आपको सोशल मीडिया पर लिखने की क्या जरूरत पड़ी इतने वरिष्ठ नेता को? क्या लीडरशिप वरिष्ठ नेताओं की भी नहीं सुनती है?
नहीं, संगठन को मजबूत करना, उसका तारीफ करना क्या बुरी बात है?
So now the big question is, did Digvijaya Singh just acknowledge the strength of RSS, or did he cross a political line within the Congress party? Joining us on the show is Charu Pragya, spokesperson for the BJP, Advocate Nikhil Jain, who's a political analyst, and Arun Anand, author and senior journalist. I want to come to you first, Charu. You know, it's clear as the day, Digvijaya Singh clearly expressing his dissent there, speaking highly of the organizational strength of the RSS, at the same time saying, if I wanted to say something, I've said it in the CWC.
Good evening. See, Congress has got a habit of washing their dirty linen in public time and time again. And this is not the first time their leaders' discontent has been made public. In fact, when I was going through the list of people who recently left the Congress party, they could have joined any other political organization or gone independent, but they all had the same complaint. And the complaint was that Rahul Gandhi is neither available, not traceable sometimes, and he's not interested in getting opinion from the ground up from other trusted people, other trusted leaders in his party. And that is the core reason for the downfall of Congress. Now, it is their internal matter, but if you are going to externalize your internal fights, You're inviting the entire world to comment upon it. I have a list in front of me, Shweta. Ghulam Nabi Azad, Kapil Sibal, Anand Sharma, Prithviraj Chavan, Jyotiraditya Scindia, Hemant Biswa Sarma, Jitin Prasada, Shishmita Dev, Ashwini Kumar, Milind Deora, RPN Singh, Priyanka Chaturvedi, Acharya Pramod Krishnan, Captain Amrinder Singh. All these people who have written to Rahul Gandhi, have tried to reach him, and when they got no response, they left the party. The reasons are very, very similar. And in recent times, we saw Rajanna, a sitting minister in Karnataka cabinet, being forced to resign because he didn't agree with the stand taken by the Congress High Command. There are other people too. Navjot Kaur, Shashi Tharoor, P. Chidambaram, Digvijaya Singh most recently, Mumtaz Patel did an interview most recently. All these people have been trying to shine light on the way this political party has been self-destructing. And this self-destruction is apparent for everyone to see. Any state the Congress has been in power in, you pick up and you look at it a little closely, you'll realize that their fights have become issues of national discussion. And because they are so caught up in all of this, governance is far, far away from what the Congress does, even when they are governing a state. That is the least of their priorities. And worst of all, the kind of issues they pick up, the kind of issues they want to scream about, waste the time of the parliament, waste the time of the party in power, because you're just distracting from real issues. You do not want to discuss real issues. When the party in power wants parliament to run, what are you doing? You're screaming and shouting about which are not taking root anywhere in the country.
Okay, I mean, that's a long list. Advocate Nikhil Jain, it is a very long list of people who have either expressed their dissent in the past, had to leave the party, or are still continuing to pose their dissent in the present, including Digvijaya Singh, joining a long list of people there. Isn't that an indictment of the Congress party? That the Congress party does not allow dissent to fester, it does not listen to opposing voices?
I find that argument honestly hypocritical when you say that the Congress party has certain leaders who are dissenting against the top leadership and they continue to be leaders of the Congress party. That itself shows that the Congress party has a space for dissent, whether it was the so-called famous or infamous G23 group. Many of them continue to be in the Congress and in important positions, whether it is Bhupinder Hooda, whether it's Shashi Tharoor, Manish Tiwari, or a whole bunch of other people. So far as Digvijaya Singh is concerned, I don't think it is so much of a criticism.
But but that list is shrinking very fast. My question is, there are people who've dissented in the past and were in a way made to leave the party. I will allow you just a counter question on that quick one, is that there are a few people, handful of people who are still left in the Congress party who express their dissent, but there are a long list of people there who've left.
Yeah.
Absolutely, there is a long list of people who've left, whether it's spokespersons, MPs, ministers, and that is what you have to see, that the Congress party did have a lot of people who perhaps were not ideologically as committed to the party, which is what the party is working on right now, that giving positions of power to people who are ideologically committed. We have all heard stories of a certain person leaving the Congress party for the BJP because they wanted to retain a Lutyens bungalow, a certain person leaving because they wanted a palace dispute ruled in their favor, somebody leaving because they had an ED raid on them, somebody leaving because they were giving X amount of money. Of course, when you are in power, you can induct people into your fold. Let's not forget the incident of Ashok Tawar. One moment he's giving a stage at a BJP stage. Hours later, he shares a Congress stage. Why? Because he thought that in Haryana, Congress is going to come to victory. Ashok Tawar is no small leader. Udit Raj was a member of parliament from the BJP. He left. Savitribai Phule. There's a long list of people who've left the BJP as well. Navjot Singh Sidhu, Kirti Azad, who have left the BJP and come to the Congress. But right now, because the BJP is in power, you'd have more people leaving the Congress to go into the BJP. Once the Congress comes into power, these things will turn around. So far as the Rajanna thing that my good friend Charu mentions about, that is a gentleman who's breaking party discipline. If some action is taken against him, that is what your party does, and that is what every single party should do. So lastly, on the point that this entire debate is about, that what has Digvijaya Singh said, he's accepted a problem with the party. He wants the party to work for it. He's trying to learn from the rival or the enemy, whatever you may call him. And in that sense, he is exactly following what Netaji Subhash Bose did, what Sardar Patel did, what Atal Bihari Vajpayee did, and what Rahul Gandhi himself does. There's
Accepting
nothing
that there
wrong
is
in
an
learning from the
organizational
organizational capability of the
but
RSS.
are we accepting that there is an organizational problem with the Congress party?
Absolutely. Rahul Gandhi himself has admitted that. You have the entire top brass of the Congress party admitting that and taking actions to change that. You have the Sangathan Srijan Abhiyan going on right now where they're changing the district Congress chiefs. You have a new guard coming in. You have a lot of people in the party who are from the marginalized communities or who do not come from political backgrounds, whether it is a Jignesh Mevani or a Kanhaiya Kumar or a Shashikant Senthil or a Krishna Alavaru. Now, some of them may be efficacious, some of them may not be efficacious, but you are seeing an
Okay.
organizational rejig in the Congress party. And what's wrong with that?
Arun Anand, I'll come back to you, Charu, in just a minute. But Arun Anand, let me quickly get you in the conversation. So there is an admission here that, of course, there is a problem organizationally within the Congress party, and the leaders are openly talking about it. And dissent is good. At least that is what Nikhil Jain is saying at the moment. But point is, any sort of disagreement with the central leadership, with the high command, is not seen very well for the image of the party.
See, I'll give you some data points about this. It is not the first. I'll give it to Digvijaya Singh, though I'm not a great fan of it. But I'll give it to Digvijaya Singh that what he has acknowledged the strength of RSS, and he has acknowledged the strength of the BJP. So this is not the first time that somebody is acknowledging it in the Congress. I'll just give you a quick list of some data points. In 1948, the state from which Digvijay Singh comes, the first chief minister of that, Pandit Ravi Shankar Shukla, he hired an RSS worker from Nagpur, specifically got an RSS worker from Nagpur to work on basically in the tribal areas and to counter the activities of the Christian missionaries. That Karyakarta was named basically Mr. Deshpande, who later set up Vanvasi Kalyan Ashram, an RSS inspired organization. Now let's come to 1963. Pandit Nehru, who was a vocal critic of RSS earlier, so invited the RSS to participate in the Republic Day parade, and RSS participated with a 300-member contingent on basically what we today call Kartavya Path. Just let me complete, sir. Let me complete. The third, in 1970, Indira Gandhi went to Vivekanand Rock Memorial, which was set up by Eknath Ranade, who was a very senior RSS pracharak, and he was the secretary of that committee also. And Indira Gandhi went there, attended the meeting of the committee also, and she was all praised for basically what had been done. Now let's come to 1981. 1981, after the Meenakshi conversions, so an organization called Virat Hindu Samaj was set up, and who was the general secretary? Who was the president of that? The president was Dr. Karan Singh, a very senior Congress leader, and the general secretary was Ashok Singhal, who was the Delhi in charge of, who was an RSS pracharak at that time, who later on basically went to BJP. So what I am saying is that Congress has basically, several Congress leaders have acknowledged the strength of the RSS in the past, and of course the ideological differences remain. Just one last point. The RSS is also paid the same way.
Okay.
In 1971, RSS passed two resolutions in which they praised Indira Gandhi, they backed Indira Gandhi, saying that whatever you will do as Prime Minister of India, we will basically, participate, or we will basically back you up. And one last thing. In 1965, when a war with India and Pakistan broke out, Pandit Lal Bahadur Shastri ji, he immediately called an all-party meeting. The only non-political person who was invited there was the second RSS chief, M.S. Golwalkar.
So the point being, Charu Pragya, that there have been leaders who have been praised on both sides of the party leadership, and there's been an acknowledgement in the past as well. Nikhil Jain himself pointing out there are lessons that we can learn, and we are trying to do that within the Congress party. So where's the harm in that? It's a senior leader who's acknowledging that RSS and its organizational strength and its structure is far better than what we have in the Congress party, and we want to emulate that. That's number one. Number two, Nikhil Jain also pointed to the fact that a lot of leaders leave because there is a threat perception here by the BJP that there will be raids, that we are going to come after you, we are going to deploy agencies, and so they are unfortunately in no position to continue with the Congress party. Your quick comment on that.
So one, I don't buy that argument at all, Shweta, because when a leader, for example, Priyanka Dev, she joins the TMC, that argument absolutely falls flat. Tell me, what threat was she facing more in Congress and less in TMC if I were to hold your argument to be true by any measure? It is not. And this is something the Congress likes to float around because they feel good after saying this. There is no truth to it. Another thing is that, they name everything as anti-party activity. When anyone tries to shine a light on the way the party has been in a state of institutional decay, electoral losses are because of this institutional decay. I'll give you a recent example of an ex-Odisha MLA from Congress, Mohammad Mukim. He wrote a letter to Sonia Gandhi ji, and he said that Priyanka Gandhi Vadra is a better leader, maybe she should be given a bigger role. He was kicked out of the party, and the reason given was anti-party activity. So praising one Gandhi over the other has now also become an anti-party activity. That is how the internal camps of the Congress is working. But at the end of the day, I am more concerned with my country. I am glad India has chosen stability, clarity and accountability over people who can't even keep their house in order, who enjoy fighting in public. When I was listing out all the other names, there are still others who have shown discontent. Sachin Pilot, for example, he tried his hardest to make the senior leaders in Congress listen to him. Nobody did. So if Nikhil thinks that these kind of statements are going to internalize or make these discussions more serious within the party, I don't think so. Because if that was the case, 95 losses wouldn't have happened. When Himanta Biswa Sarma ji complained that more attention was being given to a dog than a leader of the Congress by Rahul Gandhi would have taken attention, he would have paid attention, and all these dozens and dozens of leaders wouldn't have left after that. So I'm sorry, nobody's learning from their mistakes. This continues, and 95 losses in a row is no achievement.
Nikhil Jain, the minute any party leader, including your senior leaders, the ones that you mentioned, who still continue to be there, Manish Tiwari, Shashi Tharoor, the minute they start praising something about the current government, including, their praises around Operation Sindoor, they are snubbed. And they're openly snubbed. So here's a party that doesn't take dissent very well and then washes its dirty linen in public.
The last I checked, I don't remember Shashi Tharoor or Manish Tiwari being snubbed by either Sonia Gandhi
Manish
or
Tiwari
Rahul
openly
Gandhi
tweeted about it. Manish Tiwari tweeted
fine.
About being snubbed, not being allowed to question in the parliament. Yes.
Shweta, I'm making a different point. I'm saying that I don't remember either of the two individuals being snubbed by either the Congress president or the leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha or the parliamentary board chairperson, who together constitute the high command of the party. So when you don't have the leadership snubbing them, but you have supporters of the party or MLAs or MPs of the party expressing expressing their anguish against fellow leaders of the party for saying something which they believe shouldn't have been said, that's perfectly fine. Those are the ethos of democracy. And also, Charu, makes an important point that an Odisha MLA writes to the Congress president asking, or Sonia Gandhi, asking her to, make Priyanka Gandhi the prime ministerial candidate over Rahul Gandhi. And that was seen as an anti-party activity. Charu, please tell me, you're one of the most fabulous BJP spokespersons I believe there is right now. If you were to write a letter tomorrow to Nitin Nabeen saying that Pradhan Mantri Modi should not be the Pradhan Mantri, Amit Shah ji should be the Pradhan Mantri, and then you leak it to the press, what will your party do? Will they not remove you for anti-party activities? Will they not suspend you? Will they not reprimand you? Of course, Charu can say that at an internal party forum, which she must if she feels that way. But if you try to leak out letters like these to the press, I'm sorry, any party is going to take an action against you. And also, you talk about, how Rahul Gandhi has presided over 95 electoral losses, which is the going narrative of the BJP. That's absolutely incorrect. Rahul Gandhi became the president of the Congress party in 2017. Since then, 95 state elections haven't even happened for the Congress party to lose them. I'll tell you just one important stat to all your viewers. Between 17 to 19, when Rahul Gandhi was the president of the Congress party, 18 state elections happened. And out of those 18 state elections and the Lok Sabha elections together, 18 of them happened. 5 were won by the Congress, 5 were won by the BJP. So this entire boogie that under Rahul Gandhi the Congress only loses is nothing but a bundle of lies.
Okay, on your... Yes, Charu, absolutely. I'll let you come in. But, on the fact that the party high command has never snubbed Shashi Tharoor or Manish Tiwari, they were practically benched, Nikhil, after, they praised Operation Sindoor and they praised government's outreach to different nations. They were practically benched from participating in the discussion in Parliament on Operation Sindoor.
Both of them gave ferocious speeches in the Parliament in the next session.
Yes, but they
in the winter session of the Parliament, both of them were presented by the party to keep their foot forward. Not in a
session that was seen very crucial to the Congress party and to the entire country, right, happening after Operation Sindoor. So, and that was not lost on anybody.
There are 100 members of the Congress party in the Lok Sabha.
They're not important enough, they're not vocal enough, not vociferous enough. Are you saying they're not important enough?
They're fabulous parliamentarians, but that does not mean that you only ask these two people to speak. There are 97 other Congress MPs in the Lok Sabha. You have to give them a chance to speak as well. Otherwise, the BJP will turn around and say, oh, the Congress party doesn't allow its MPs to speak. See, it's a situation of Doomed if you do and doomed if you don't. That's the problem.
Okay, Charu Pragya, please go ahead.
Well, Shweta, Nikhil is a dear friend of mine, and I hope Congress identifies the problem within itself, because when Nikhil will go asking for his own ticket, I hope he's not in the long list of leaders who've been snubbed and not even given an appointment for over a year. Over a year, Mumtaz Patel, she comes from one of the tallest Congress families. She had made this statement on an interview just yesterday that for 1 year she couldn't get time of the Congress leader. And the similar kind of complaints have come from Ghulam Nabi Azad, from Captain Amrinder Singh. These are tall people. Also, we are nobody to look for problems. You are doing it amongst yourself. Your party leadership is looking for an alternate leader to Rahul Gandhi. Maybe Congress should do some introspection. And in every single state, it's Congress versus the Congress. You are your own enemy. In Karnataka, the fight is still going on, publicly going on. It happened in Madhya Pradesh, it happened in front of our eyes, it happened in Rajasthan, it happened in Chhattisgarh, it's happening in Himachal. So even if you are given the responsibility of running the government in any particular state, that's what you do.
Okay. Okay, well, that is Charu. Wishing you well there, Nikhil Jain. But yes, please. I just have 5 more minutes left. I need to take a question, from Arun Anand as well. Arun Anand has been patiently listening to this conversation. Arun Anand, Digvijay was also very quick to clarify. He said, I never praised RSS, although he clearly mentions RSS in his tweet, but he later says that his tweet was in fact misunderstood. He was talking about Sangh. He was not talking about RSS. To me, both are same. What do you make of that clarification?
See, technically, Digvijay Singh was incorrect because RSS is a socio-cultural organization and Congress is a political organization. If Congress has to compare itself, it needs to compare itself with Bharatiya Janata Party, not with RSS. One. Second, Congress has got a bigger problem because he has talked about ideology. The problem is that BJP has a certain ideology. People can agree with it or disagree with it. But around that ideology, they weave certain training programs which convert members into cadres, which is a very significant thing. And that's why BJP is a cadre-based party. What has happened with Congress, that first under Sonia Gandhi and then subsequently under Rahul Gandhi. That's for critics to decide whether it is right or wrong. But Congress has taken a hard left. So the space for the centrist and slightly right of the center forces have been squeezed. And Congress does not have an ideology. So what is happening that while BJP is expanding its base rapidly through its training programs, preparing more cadres, the Congress has not been able to do it. When was the last time you saw a Congress training program on the ground? They're just doing basically yatras or public rallies. This will not fetch you basically votes, or this will not translate into electoral victories. Because the level of commitment only comes when you have ideologically committed cadres, and cadres, for that to happen, you have to have an ideology. Can Congress spell out what exactly is its ideology?
Okay, I think Nikhil wants to respond to that. Nikhil?
Absolutely, the Congress Party does have an ideology, in the entire world knows it, which is social welfare, which is rights of the marginalized people, which is secularism, which is progressivism, which is democracy, which is what and how they ruled the country for over 60 years. And so far as the point about no train.
How would you name that as a political ideology? What's that one word you
How is that not?
Okay.
How is that not? You could on the economic.
What's that one word?
You can call it center. If you want an umbrella, Shweta, if you want
to give me an umbrella word for it.
Charu. Yes, that is called center of left. Social policy, center of left. Economic policy, center of left. Social welfare is the political economic policy of the Congress Party.
Okay.
Democracy is, of course, the idea of how a state should be run. The BJP, of course, would like to say that they're a democratic party, but don't really practice it. Then it is the idea of secularism, which, by the way, finds its mention even in the BJP manifesto. The BJP constitution. At the very first page of the BJP constitution, it is said that they're a secular party. The Congress Party just practices that secularism. And also on the point of training programs, see, when the party is not in power and the media doesn't really like to cover the nice parts of the party, because Charu earlier raised the point that, every small statement that a Congress leader...
And I'm speaking to you, so I'm not sure if that's fair. We were covering as much as...
No, Shweta, that's not a jibe at you. I'm sorry, but that is a jibe at your larger, fraternity. You are somebody who's allowing me to speak. Charu knows it very well. 8 of the other 10 channels that I go to, I would have been muted by now. So thank you so much for allowing me to speak. But the point is that every dissonance that there is in the Congress party, that is made a national issue. But when something like this is done in the BJP, nobody really talks about it. You had Jitin Ram Manjhi of the NDA saying that I'm going to leave the NDA if you don't give me a Rajya Sabha ticket, despite the fact that his Bahu, his Samdhan are both MLAs, his son is a state minister, he is a minister himself, yet he wants another Rajya Sabha ticket. And he's saying that if you don't give me one, I'm going to leave the NDA. But nobody really talked about it, and it just happened a couple of days ago.
Okay.
And also she talks about the fights that the Congress party had in Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan. Let me also tell you the fights that you had in Rajasthan. Vasundhara Raje Scindia, Bhajan Lal Sharma, Gajendra Singh Shekhawat and a whole host of other people. Chhattisgarh you had Raman Singh and Vishnu Desai. In Madhya Pradesh you had Kailash Vijaywargiya and Shivraj Singh Chauhan ji. शिवराज जी ने तो ये कह दिया था कि मैं पार्टी से कुछ मांगने से पहले मरना पसंद करूंगा.
Okay, before you accuse me of giving more time to Charu, I'm going to give her 30 seconds to respond. I have to quickly close the show. Charu, yes.
Very strictly sticking to the topic. Now, Nikhil says left of center. They claim to have an ideology. Every word that he's thrown around is basically a word every 6th standard student in this country learns in civics, right? It is not the ideology of a political party. I'll tell you the ideology Congress has today and the reason because of which it is constantly losing. Rahul Gandhi's main advisor for the longest time has been an extreme left leader, Sitaram Yechuri. After his demise, it has become Dipankar Bhattacharya. That is the ideology of the Congress, and the Congress people within the party itself are talking about it. In fact, there are many Congress leaders who are well-wishers of your party who are calling this out. But obviously, you can't solve the problem if you do not identify the problem. You're refusing to identify your problem, so all the best to you.
All right. I've completely run out of time, and I think it's an ever-evolving debate. Thank you very much, the three of you, for taking time out for joining us on the show today. Charu Pragya, Nikhil Jain, Arun Anand.